In the United States today, there exists a silent economic machine powered not by factories or software, but by family breakdown. At the heart of it are two systems: divorce and child support. Built to protect children and vulnerable parents, these institutions were once seen as lifelines. But now, in certain hands, they've become weapons. In this documentary, we investigate a disturbing trend: women using motherhood, marriage, and divorce not as milestones of life, but as tools of extraction. Millions of single mothers struggle, sacrifice, and raise their children with honor. But hidden within that group is a subset one that understands the system better than the lawyers who created it. These are the women who realize that a strategic marriage, followed by a well-timed breakup, can lead to 18 years of financial security, sometimes more. We examine how the U.S. legal system enables it, how men are left bankrupt, broken, and erased from their children's lives, and how, in the name of equality, a silent imbalance has grown. Let's begin. The husband store parable. Before diving into data and cases, we begin with a modern parable, often told as a joke, but disturbingly reflective of reality. A new husband store opened, where women could choose from 5 floors of men. Each floor promised higher quality than the last, but there was one rule: once you go up, you can't go back. First floor, these men have jobs and love kids, the women said. That's good, but what's next? Second floor, these men have high-paying jobs, love kids, and are attractive. Even better, but they went up. Third floor, these men have high-paying jobs, love kids, are attractive, and do housework. Tempting, but curiosity drove them higher. Fourth floor, these men are rich, good with kids, do housework, and are deeply romantic. Wow. But what if there's more? Fifth floor, this floor is empty. It exists only to prove that some women are impossible to please. The building stands empty at the top. It's not because the men weren't good enough, but because the appetite for more is endless. This is a fable. But in the world of relationships, divorce, and money, it's not far from reality. Divorce in America. The numbers each year: over 630,000 divorces are filed in the United States. It's nearly 1 divorce every 42 seconds. Among heterosexual divorces, 69% are initiated by women, according to the American Sociological Association. Among college-educated couples, the number jumps to over 90% initiated by the woman. Why? A combination of legal advantage, financial safety nets, and societal encouragement. And when kids are involved, the stakes rise dramatically. Over 85% of custodial parents are mothers, according to the U.S. Census Bureau. Fathers typically lose custody, even if they are financially stable and emotionally available. Once custody is decided, child support is enforced. According to the Office of Child Support Enforcement, average monthly support order: $430, $720 a month per child. Incustodial parents are required to pay even if unemployed or underemployed. Missed payments can result in wage garnishment, driver's license suspension, or jail. While intended to protect children, the system has created financial devastation for countless men, many of whom have minimal contact with their children. And here's the key issue: no federal law mandates that child support be used specifically for the child. This opens the door to misuse, where child support becomes indistinguishable from personal income. How the system enables extraction? There is no audit trail for child support spending, no oversight committee, no receipts, no enforcement of how the money is actually used. One family law judge anonymously admitted, "You'd be shocked how often child support is spent on nails, hair, vacations, while the child wears worn shoes." Beyond that, many women discover that filing for divorce is not an emotional choice, it's an economic one. Divorce can bring alimony child support for up to 18 years asset, division tax credits for dependent care, legal protection with minimal proof. Family courts operate under preponderance of evidence, not beyond reasonable doubt. This means an allegation without hard evidence can still be enough to assign custody or force a father out of the home. Restraining orders are frequently granted just in case, often with no cross-examination, according to the National Coalition for Men. Millions of men are subjected to family court decisions with no legal recourse, no presumption of innocence, and no shared custody. In this environment, some women see marriage not as a partnership, but as a pipeline, real cases of financial ruin. While we won't name names, the patterns are disturbingly common. Case of California, 2019, a man earning $130,000 annually lost custody despite no criminal record. The mother alleged emotional neglect. He was ordered to pay $2,200 a month in child support. 2 years later, he declared bankruptcy. He now lives in a shared apartment with roommates. Case B, Texas, 2021. A military veteran lost 50% of his pension, his home, and custody of his 2 children. His ex-wife refused visitation despite a court order. He spent $80,000 in legal fees trying to enforce visitation unsuccessfully. Case C. Georgia, 2020 DNA test proved the child was not his. Still ordered to pay $900 a month because he had formed a bond with the child and was the presumed father at birth. Appeals denied. These are not rare anomalies. They are symptoms of a system built on imbalance. Incentives to divorce incentives matter. And when a system rewards one outcome financially, people will chase it. For many women, especially those in economically unstable positions, marriage and children present an opportunity. A low-income woman can secure full government housing with custody, food stamps, free health care for the child, monthly child support from the father, tax credits for dependents, and often legal immunity from counterclaims. This has turned motherhood into an unregulated business model for a few opportunists. Social media platforms now feature viral videos teaching women how to maximize child support payouts. Some forums even suggest, get pregnant by someone earning 6 figures. You're set for life. Even if this is a minority, the fact that the system allows it should alarm everyone. Psychology of entitlement. Why is the husband story so relevant? Because it illustrates a psychological pattern. Escalating expectations with diminishing gratitude. Modern dating and marriage increasingly reflect a consumerist mentality. Once a partner is no longer exciting, fulfilling, or profitable, divorce becomes the return policy. This doesn't just harm men, it harms children. Study after study shows children without active fathers have higher dropout rates, increased crime involvement, and lower emotional regulation. Shared custody leads to better outcomes but is awarded in fewer than 20% of cases. If a parent sees a child as a financial asset instead of a human soul, the result is exploitation, not parenting. No accountability. What happens when a man can no longer pay? Prison. More than 50,000 people in the U.S. are incarcerated each year for failure to pay child support. And again, this is not deadbeat dads skipping responsibility. These are men who've lost jobs, been injured, or suffered economic collapse, but are still expected to pay fixed amounts. Even bankruptcy does not cancel child support debt. Meanwhile, mothers face no legal consequence for lying about paternity, blocking visitation, spending child support on themselves, making false abuse allegations. No fines, no prison, no audits. Conclusion: a system in need of balance. Not all single mothers exploit the system. Most are fighting hard, doing the best they can. But a system that enables even 5% of people to weaponize family law creates a chilling effect on society. Men avoid marriage, fathers fear custody battles, children become pawns, trust disintegrates, marriage becomes a risk, love becomes litigation, and family becomes a business. What can change? Shared custody as default, mandatory child support audits, punishment for proven false claims, equal legal presumption for both parents. Education on relationship law before marriage. Until then, we will continue to see the rise of what some have called the scam mom economy. Not because the system is broken, but because it works exactly as designed, for the wrong people.